Hello friends, this is Shali Ranjan. I am technical head at Prithyaart Services. So today we are going to discuss about the .NET development with the Microsoft technologies. Okay, so here we will discuss about the Microsoft technologies of .NET and and some other languages which is provided by the Microsoft under the .NET framework. Okay, let's start. So, what is the .NET framework? .NET framework is a complete environment that allows the developers to develop, run, and deploy the any application like console application, Windows application, Windows Forms, WPF, that is Windows Presentation Foundations, Windows Communication Foundations, and ASP.NET applications, web services, Windows service, and so on. You can create any type of application under the .NET framework. So .NET framework is a open source platform which provides a cross platform for building any application in any frameworks. Like you can create your application in a Windows or Mac or Linux, any framework, any platform. And with a .NET you can use multiple languages, multiple editors, libraries, and for building your web application you can use a third party building tools and deployment tools, and it supports the cloud platform and some other technologies, inbuilt features which provided by the .NET. So here I have used a term that is the developer environment. So what is a developer environment actually? Actually, the developer environment is a language plus library. So language in which we are going to build our application, that is the C Sharp, ASP.NET, VB.NET, F Sharp, any language, and the library which is provided by the .NET itself. Library is like a class assemblies or coding standards, you can say, which is provided by the .NET framework. So .NET version 1.0, that is the first version which is provided by the Microsoft on 2002, and currently it's working on the 4.7.1, that is the latest version which was launched in the 2017. I'm recording this video on 2020s, and the latest version of this framework is 4.7.1. Okay. So now you can see in this diagram, like .NET supports more than 70 languages. These are VB.NET, C++, C Sharp, JScript, J Sharp, and so on. And here you are seeing like common language specification, ASP.NET web services, web forms, window forms, and ADO.NET features. That is the managing data and XML, like how our application will connect to the database, and the base library and common language runtime. So we will discuss it one by one. First of all, I will discuss about the CLR, that is Common Language Runtime. This is the base foundation of .NET Framework. So what is actually a CLR? So CLR is like a foundation which provides a runtime environment, and it is like a virtual machine component that manages the execution of the whole program which written in any languages of .NET framework. Okay, so the programmer can write code in any .NET languages, then they can compile their program into the intermediate language that is managed by the CLR itself, and CLR converts it into the machine code, that is the native language which read by the machine. And what is the BCL? That is the base class library. So base class libraries provides the most foundation types and utilities, that is the functionality, and are the base of all others .NET class libraries. .NET has an expensive standard set of class libraries. There are so many languages and so many libraries according to those languages, and it referred to as either the base library or a framework class library. Okay, so I think you guys now aware about the CLR, what CLR does. So CLR basically, it's a whole soul thing at the background process. We are not aware about the what's the background process going through the .NET framework. We just write our code in our any language like C Sharp, VB.NET, SP.NET, but we don't need to bother about the background process like memory management and garbage collection things and all. Oh, that's cool. So now we are moving to the next thing. Okay, so now I am going to discuss about the OOPS concept. So these are the foundations of any languages, you can say. Like if you know about the OOPS concept, then these are the base foundation and you can write your code in any language. Okay, any language of .NET or some other platform like Java, Python and all. So OOPS concepts are the base. So here these are the main base things, you can say, like abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance and encapsulation. And I will create one video for the advanced OOPS concept in a further video. So what is abstraction? Abstraction, using the abstraction we can create the abstract class, abstract method. So what is the abstraction actually? Abstraction is like if you are going to create your application which have some common functionalities, then you can create an abstract class and provide the common functionality, and we just need to give the declaration of those functions only. And when any child class will going to inherit that abstract parent class, then they will provide their definitions according to their features. For example, I am talking about an organization. They have multiple type of salary components, like for part time, for full time. So both part time and full time have different type of salary calculation. So we will provide a abstract class which will include the only the salary function definition, not declaration, not a definition. But when any child class which is going to use the salary method, then they will provide their own logics according to their salary calculation. So these are the abstraction part. So now I am moving to the polymorphism. So what is polymorphism actually? Polymorphism is like a one thing into the multiple forms. Like we want to write few functions in the multiple forms, and we can overload or override our methods or functions by changing the signature and type of parameters and number of parameters and so on. We will discuss it in the advanced OOPS concepts. Okay, so what is inheritance? So inheritance is a feature which in which a child class can inherit their features of the parent class. Like parent class have some functionality, then child class can inherit the whole functionality of the parent class, and they can enhance the our own classes, our own methods also in the child class. Now going to discuss about the encapsulation. Encapsulation is like a data binding or data hiding, you can say. Like if we want to provide the authentication, then we will use the encapsulation, like which class we need to show and which class we need to make the private, like no other class can inherit those class. So we will use many access modifiers over the classes, over the interfaces. So these modifiers are default modifiers, public, private, protected, internal. So these are the basic concepts of the OOPS, but we will discuss about the advanced OOPS concept in further video. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the core languages. So Core languages are C Sharp, ASP.NET MVC, Core, Web APIs, and microservices. I will give all the information of all the languages one by one. So now first of all I am covering the C Sharp concepts. What is C Sharp? C Sharp is a language and it is a strongly typed OOPS language, like which is using the OOPS concept, object oriented programming concepts, and these are the derived from the C++ and the Java, and it's enhancing the features which was not in the C++ and Java. So it's like a few features of the old versions of those technologies, and the enhancement of the enhancement using the .NET framework. So C Sharp was introduced in 2002. That is, the first version was 1.0 that was created in 2002, and the current version which on which I am working is a 8.0 that was enhanced in the 2019. So these are the few features of the C Sharp. Here you can see the so many features of the C Sharp, but you can see in this screenshot, but I am going to discuss about the some core features of the C Sharp, that is a memory management. So memory management, what is a memory management? Memory management is like whenever we are going to assign or create a class or interface or any class members, then it takes a memory in a process. So how it manage? So it's basically managed by the CLR, common language runtime, so you don't worry about the memory management. It's automatically handled by the CLR. And garbage collection, it's also handled by the CLR. So what is a garbage collection? Garbage collection is like the waste objects which is no further going to be used, like once we assign those objects but we are not going to use those objects in future, then what CLR do? CLR automatically deletes those objects, and it dispose those objects. So it's a garbage collection from the C Sharp. So these are some simple features of the C Sharp that pointers are missing in C Sharp. Unsafe operations are not allowed, like unsafe operations such as a direct memory manipulation is not allowed here in C Sharp, and no uses of these two operators which was we were using in the C++. So for these operators I will discuss about in advanced videos, like how we will use these type of feature. Okay, and automatic memory management and the garbage collection done here, and varying range of the primitive types. So primitive types and non-primitive types I will discuss about in the further video. So primitive types is like just like an integer, float, and double, and non-primitives are like object and strings. I will discuss it further. Integer values of 0 and 1 are no longer acceptable in Boolean values. So previously what Boolean values done? So Boolean values take the 0 as a false and 1 as a true. So now it's not going on the integer value 0 and 1, it's now the separate value of the true and false which Boolean values takes. And here equals to double equals to is for the comparison operation, and equals to is for the assignment operations. And these are the modern features. C Sharp is building the interoperable, scalable, and robust application. So C Sharp has been based according to current trend and is very powerful and simple for building these type of application for the robust and interoperable and scalable. And C Sharp includes built-in support to turn any component into web services that can be invoked over the internet from any application running on the platform. So it supports the web services, and currently it's going to move on the microservices. So I will discuss in the further video of the microservices. And these are the object oriented features of the C sharp. C sharp supports all the OOPS concepts. Just one thing, like it's not handling the multiple inheritance into the classes. So for handling the multiple inheritance, we are using the interfaces here. I will discuss into other tutorial videos, and I will explain this through the code. Okay, and here int float double are not objects in Java, but C Sharp has introduced structures which enables the primitive types to become objects. For example, here int I equals to 1, then you can convert it into the string by converting and using the toString or convert dot toString. Okay, so it supports the OOPS such as encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, and abstraction. And last feature are the type safe features, like unsafe casts are not allowed here. C sharp includes native support, so it's not for I'm giving example of type safe and non type safe languages. Like JavaScript is not a type safe language. Like you can assign where you can assign any value into the where, like integer or string or some, so it will not give error. It will compile successfully, but in this C sharp it will give error. Like for a string you cannot assign it to 1 because this is integer. Value type are initialized to zeros by default, and if we are assigning to the reference type like string, so by default string or any reference type considered as a null by the compiler. Okay, so arrays are 0 based index and are bound checked. Overflow of types can be checked here. So these are some extra features of C sharp, like interoperability and scalable updatables. Okay, so these are some introduction of the C sharp. Now I am going to create one application that is a .NET Console application. Then I will talk about some features into the application. Okay, so these are the basic requirement, like prerequisites for creating the application. You can download a Visual Studio Code from the site code.visualstudio.com for any like Windows or Linux or Mac. And you also need to download this .NET Core SDK from this site .net.microsoft.com. And also when you have downloaded the Visual Studio Code, then also you have to add the extension for the C sharp into the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm going to show this using one application. Okay, so first of all open the folder. First of all you need to check about the extension in the marketplace here. So I'm going to the marketplace and I'm checking about the C sharp. Sorry, C sharp extension. Okay, so it's downloaded on my system, installed. So you need to take this extension for writing the code in the C sharp. Okay, now I'm going to create. I have created this folder like Prithard app. Now using this tab you will go to the terminal and you will open the terminal here. Here now in this folder I am going to create the .NET project, and for learning purpose I am going to create the .NET Console application. So for creating the .NET Console application you need to write this command .NET new console. See, it has given the template console application, and it's restored from the uh, .NET libraries. And you can see here, like, this is the program.cs file, and this is the project file, and these are the object libraries. In the object libraries, these are like nugget packages. By default, you don't need to think about all these libraries. These are just by default libraries, which are like a package versions and numbers. And in this project file, you can see about the properties which is given by the Microsoft.NET SDK, like what is the target framework and what is the output type. So this is the main class. Program.cs is the main class, and which whatever you have given the name of the folder, so it will automatically create the namespace for that folder. Like I have created the Prithya tab for folder, so it's given the namespace, class namespace, as a Prithya tab. Now you can see this is the class, this is the program class, that is the main class, and within that main class, this is the static method. So it is like an entry point of this application. So you can create your own classes, and you can inherit this program class into that child class, and so on. You can do so many things here. So first of all, I will check like what is the output of this application. So for running this application, you need to run the command .NET run. Here you can see the hello world is for the output message, so it's shown here, hello world. Now I am going to take some inputs like console dot write line, and you will enter your name. Okay, then you will take the value which is given by the user into a particular string. For example, you have taken this into the string name. String name equals to console dot read line. Read line will read the input value which you have given. Okay, so I'm going to show, for example, I'm going to show the current date time. So I will take a date time data type. For example, I have given this aliasing name to dt equals to date time dot now. So it will give today's date time. Okay, now I am going to print this console dot. So for taking the input from the user, you will write the readline command, console.readline, and for showing the output, you will use the console.writeline command. Okay, I'm going to show the message hello, and I will give a space. So for giving the space, you will use the /t, and I will embed the name, and also one string again, and on for using the date time, you also need to add the plus here also. Then you need to this here, I also need give one space for /t, then dt which is a date time stamp I have used. Now I am going to print in this output. Okay, so for clearing the previous commands, you will use a clear, and now .NET run. Sorry, I have not saved this. hello world. Okay, so it's shown first line hello world, then it's shown enter your name. Now I'm going to enter my name, Shalini, and I enter this. Now you can see the output like hello Shalini on this date. You can use some formatting also. So thank you for this video. I will give other informations and other concepts I will cover in a separate video. Thank you.